Hi everyone, Dr. Jeff back in his workout garage, and I'm going to talk a little bit about tight hamstrings today. A little bit about what you could do for it, probably some stuff you've tried and why you still have some tight hamstrings. I see a lot of people come in with tight hamstrings. They say when they're running, their hamstrings or legs just feel weak, they can't touch the floor, and they really feel like the hamstrings are really holding them back in their sports or their running. And usually people who have done a lot of stretching on their own and a lot of self-myofascial release, foam roller, stick work. And the reason that really doesn't work is because most of the problems with the hamstrings, the tight hamstrings, are kind of repetitive strains where you're basically running a lot, or maybe you overstretch at one time and you pull and get little small tears within that hamstring. And then what the body doesn't do, the hamstring just don't tear, and the body doesn't lay down scar tissue perfectly. It kind of lays down scar tissue every which way. I tell people it's almost like you take a balloon and you could open that, blow air in that balloon and expand it and contract it, and that moves nice. Well, scar tissue is like, let's say we put a big piece of duct tape on that balloon, and now you blow that balloon and you're open and expand it. And where that scar tissue, or where that duct tape is, that area is just not going to move as much. And that's kind of like what scar tissue is. So maybe you do a lot of running, or you have an injury at one time where you pull the hamstring and you get that little tear in there, that scar tissue goes and forms up in that hamstring, and now that area, it just isn't going to move as fluidly as it should. And now here's the problem. You could probably have already done a ton of stretching, and it comes right back. You're going to save yourself a lot of time if you go in and see a good sports chiropractor, a good physical therapist, or a good deep tissue massage therapist who could actually go in there in those fibers and break that up. You really need to go and just get into that hamstring and do a deep tissue therapy and try to break that up. You think you got all these different muscles of the hamstring, and they're laying on top of each other, and they're supposed to be sliding back and forth like this. And what happens, they just kind of get bound up and they get stuck. It's almost like the muscle is rusting up. So go in and have someone do a lot of deep tissue therapy in there and breaking that up. Once that's been done by a professional or someone who's actually got their hands on your hamstring and broken it up, you can start doing like some stick work or some foam roller. But usually that stick work and foam roller, it's not going to work very good if you don't do the deep tissue first. Now after this, you've gone in there and had someone break up that hamstring up a lot, now you can go do some self-myofascial release, deep tissue work, or stick work. Then also you want to do is you want to start doing like deep squats, lunges, deep in squats, movement prep. Think of that as you're taking your body full range of motion. Lay on the floor and get up, or do what's called the Turkish get up. Just YouTube Turkish get up. It's a great exercise that kind of frees everything up. So deep squats, lunges, Turkish get-ups are great movement prep exercises, or exercises that will allow you to keep the movement that you gained after you had the deep tissue therapy. A couple other things that you want to look at. Maybe you've been suffering this for a long time and you've already tried that type of stuff. You might want to look into some joint mobility drills. Mobility, you can just Google joint mobility of the ankle, knee, and back. And a lot of times muscles will tighten up or even become weakened if a joint in that area is kind of fixated or lacking motion. So if you've been suffering from chronic hamstrings and you've already tried deep tissue therapy, go in and have someone look at your sacroiliac joint, your knee, and your ankle joint. A lot of times you have lack of movement in those areas, and they could be having an effect on the tight hamstring. Another thing I found pretty good success for is topical magnesium, and you can get that like at a health food store, and it's just basically magnesium or oil that you rub into that. And a lot of times that extra magnesium helps with some of the chronic tightness that you have. So it's a topical magnesium oil. You could also get like a over-the-counter magnesium drink that you could drink that will also help you get a little bit extra magnesium that seems to help a lot with some of the tightness. So if you're suffering from chronic hamstring injuries or tightness, or you feel that's holding you back, first thing you need to do, get in there and have someone actually physically break that type of stuff. You'll save yourself a lot of time. I know you have to spend a little bit of money at the beginning, but you're going to spend a lot of time just stretching and not really getting anywhere. So get in there and have that deep tissue on the hamstring. Then you can do the self-myofascial release on your own. Then do squats, lunges, and Turkish get-up. Still having problems with there, look into mobility drills of the feet, ankle, knees, and back. And if that's still having it, you might need to see a sports chiropractor and get your sacroiliac joint adjusted or freed up, or your ankles freed up. And then try either a magnesium supplement that you could drink, but even better is a topical magnesium oil you could just rub into the legs and the hamstrings. Hope that helps. If you have any questions, post them in the comment section or drop me an email.